At this time, a blonde invigilator suddenly scolded, "The competition is about to begin. No talking allowed." Then he started distributing the test papers, but he kept muttering, "Really? Why give competition spots to countries without even international rankings? It's such a hassle, and they're even talkative. Look at this quality, it's infuriating. Typing this out, I want to go slap his face," although he was muttering quietly. Huo Yao heard it all. He thought to himself, this is really putting the scores and written test out in the open. This really angered Huo Yao. Who did they think they were looking down on? At this moment, Huo Yao became serious. Soon the bell rang. The blonde, with his arms crossed and nose in the air, said, "Time's up. Everyone put down your pens and leave the exam room immediately." Huo Yao was seen covering his mouth and quickly running out of the exam room. He was just spotted by foreign contestants nearby, who then started making fun of him. "Did you see that, Brooke? Another one crying because the questions were too hard." He said disdainfully, "I really don't know why the organizers give spots to these countries every year. What's the point? Didn't she just get 10 for living expenses yesterday? Then her father sent a message, 'Daughter, this is your pocket money.' They're just going to be trampled under our feet." The freckle-faced one heard this and laughed so hard his teeth almost fell out. "Who says otherwise? I guess this is what they call charity." At this time, Huo Yao came out of the bathroom, gently holding his stomach and taking a deep breath. Finally, relief. "It's all because I drank too much milk this morning. Mamma mia. Oh, so the big shot just had a stomach ache. I really thought he cried because it was too difficult." Suddenly, Huo Yao heard people arguing nearby, and one of them was his classmate. It turned out that his classmate had overheard the foreigners' conversation earlier and went to confront them. The foreigners got more and more excited as they spoke and suddenly blurted out, "Am I wrong? You stupid trash who don't even have international rankings." As he was about to push the male classmate, a delicate white hand suddenly grabbed his black pig's trotter. It's hard to believe that Huo Yao had a foreign son. Huo Yao, who went abroad to participate in an international competition, had a stomachache in the exam room due to not being accustomed to the local environment. As soon as the exam ended, he immediately covered his stomach and went to the bathroom. Who would have thought he'd be laughed at by two foreigners? Look, another little trash crying because the competition questions were too hard. A male classmate nearby couldn't stand it and wanted to reason with them unexpectedly. The foreigners became even more insulting. "I'm not wrong. You guys are just trash without even international rankings. How dare you come to participate in the competition?" As he was about to get physical, I couldn't take it anymore. "Who can type out this word?" Her desk mate, seeing this, was shocked. "No way. 10 is just pocket money and it's given daily. What kind of family, what kind of wealth is this?" I'd take a red-eye flight to give him a big arm cast. Just as he was about to push the male classmate, a delicate hand grabbed him. The black guy angrily opened his eyes wide and shouted, "Which idiot dares to?" But before he could finish, he started howling in pain like a dog whose tail had been stepped on. The freckle face was smart, seeing that this girl had such strength. He knew she wasn't to be messed with, so he started to reason. "What, just because your country can't win in competitions, you want to get physical?" The person who arrived was none other than our big shot. "Huo Yao," he calmly said. "Want to make a bet?" The freckle face became curious. What kind of bet? Huo Yao saw his interest was piqued and finally let go of that big black pig's trotter. He said nonchalantly, "Let's bet on the rankings of this competition." The big black guy heard this and confidently said, "There's really someone not afraid of death. You sure? Brooke here is the champion of last year's international competition. He's the #1 in our country. You want to compete with him?" "Ha ha ha, you're done for." Whoa, Yao found this even more interesting. "Is that so? Then let's add some stakes. Let's bet on who will be first in this international competition." Then he added with a hint of mockery, "As for the stakes, we have a traditional custom in our country. The loser has to call the winner dad, just like that. A girl and two foreigners who would end up being called dad. Don't believe rumors, don't spread them, you're telling me ghost stories. No wonder people are crazy saying you bought your way into school." This news quickly reached the team leader teacher. He was so angry he almost went over there. He couldn't believe who Oh Yao could be so impulsive and reckless. The opponent was the world's #1. While we didn't even have a ranking, how could we compete if we lose? Do you know how bad the impact would be? They're just trash talking. Why not just let them say what they want? Just mind your own business. Hu Oh Yao and retorted cheekily, "Teacher, I think you're wrong. Constant yielding only emboldens the ignorant and arrogant. When facing enemies, we should suppress them, tame them, and then show them kindness. Let them learn their lesson. Huo Yao looked even more annoyed, his eyes determined and full of righteousness. The teacher could only sigh helplessly. No way, they usually calm and collected Huo Yao. Actually made a bet with two foreigners about the competition rankings. The loser would have to call the winner Dad, who knew the opponents were last year's international champions. While China didn't even rank last year, it's like throwing eggs at a stone. At this moment, the crowd stirred. Someone shouted that the results were out. Everyone in the hall looked at the first place. It was China who won. The freckled boy from America ranked second. Yalianfin calmly said, "Congratulations, you got a perfect score." Student Hugh at first place, he spoke so casually as if not surprised, but rather feeling it was expected. In contrast, the Chinese team leaders went wild. Some hugged and cried with excitement. "We did it, we won." Others excitedly chanted slogans, overcome with emotion. Awesome, the teacher who had scolded Hugh earlier was now beside himself. He covered his mouth in disbelief. Finally, we've done it. It's time to show our real skills. Let's celebrate in the comments section. From now on, I'll call you Huge, huge as in huge amount of money. Hearing this strange nickname, Hoyo felt very embarrassed. Even Money Sis sounds better than that. We're invincible where there's joy, there's sorrow. The suddenly defeated American side was unusually quiet. The freckled boy, dazed, his pride driving him, slowly walked towards Hoyo. The big guy, seeing this, quickly called out to him, "Brother, wake up. What are you doing?" The freckled boy hesitated for a moment but still approached Hu Yao with a stiff upper lip. He bowed directly. "You're very strong, I lost, and I'll honor the bet." Hearing this, Hu Yao turned to look at him. The freckled boy then called out, "Dad." Hu Yao, upon hearing this, nearly burst into laughter. He wasn't even this happy when he won first place in the international competition. "I didn't expect to come here normal and go back with a grown son," the freckled boy. Hearing Hu Yao's unrestrained laughter couldn't bear it anymore. "Don't go too far, I have my pride too." Unexpectedly, Hu Yao reached out and patted his head. The freckled boy, perhaps stunned, forgot to resist, seeing him so docile. Hu Yao finally restrained himself. "Our China is vast and rich in resources. With geniuses emerging endlessly, temporary results don't mean much, kid. You still have a long way to go." At this moment, the freckled boy touched his head dumbly, suddenly feeling as if his wisdom was about to open up. He looked at Hugh with admiration, quietly waiting for the following spiritual baptism, but Hugh Yao turned and left directly, leaving the freckled boy in a daze. How strong is our big shot Hugh Yao really, even with a stomachache? He still got a perfect score and won first place in the international competition. What a terrifying existence, but you should know. Previously, China couldn't even make it into the rankings. Before coming, the old principal's highest hope was for Hugh Yao to squeeze into the top 10. But what she never imagined was that this was her mother's plan. "From now on, I'll give Yao Yao 10 pocket money every day. This way she won't misunderstand us." At that time, Hugh Yao told the old man that the goal could be set higher. The principal thought he was just a naive newcomer, not afraid, who knew he'd get a perfect score in the international competition as long as you can type out this character. You'll get a perfect score and first place in all exams. See, Hayo hasn't even returned, but the news has already reached the school. The principal gathered everyone together and excitedly announced, "We just received news from Sangyu University. Our student Hayo performed excellently in the international competition, achieving a perfect score in first place. Yilian Fan also achieved a good result. Ranking 27th, the teachers present erupted in applause upon hearing this. Hugh Yao's homeroom teacher was so excited that tears welled up in his eyes. It's such an honor to be his homeroom teacher. The only outlier in the crowd, the rocket-like teacher Wei, had a gloomy face, muttering in disbelief, first in the international competition. At this moment, he felt extremely regretful. If only I hadn't been prejudiced against him from the start, how good that would have been. Meanwhile, in a luxurious villa, someone was following the international competition information when the competition results were announced. Zhou Yun and Yang Yi at the computer were stunned. "Too strong, we poor students can't even imagine such results." Zhou Yun suddenly stood up excitedly. "No, I have to go invite the neighbor for tea again and discuss buying the house while I'm at it." He turned to leave as he spoke. Seeing this, Yang Yi quickly followed. "I'll go with you, you're too clumsy with words." Minyu, sitting in the living room, saw these two national treasures being so proactive and felt quite helpless. Then he took out his phone and sent a message to Hu Yao. Congratulations on first place. Huo Yao asked about Min Yu's recent health. At this moment, Min Yu finally couldn't maintain his composure. It had been a long time since he'd seen Huo Yao after refining medicine for him last time. Min Yu really missed him, so Min Yu made a move, replying, "Not too good, my chest feels a bit tight." Obviously, this was pretense, but it startled Huo Yao. "That shouldn't be, I'll check on you when I get back." Right, it'll also improve our relationship. It's killing two birds with one stone. Her father couldn't help but praise his wife. That makes so much sense. As long as your mindset doesn't slip, there are always more difficulties than solutions. Then she replied affectionately, "I'll wait for you to come back." When a genius brother with autism meets his younger sister for the first time in 17 years, what inappropriate things might happen at their first meeting? Although he was very excited, he couldn't express his love for his sister. So he immediately transferred 99.999. It was a gift for meeting his sister, feeling that just giving money wasn't enough. He asked his second brother about his sister's hobbies. After his sister finished the international competition, he sent her a text message late at night. "I prepared a small gift for you. Are you free to come over tomorrow? I'll have my assistant pick you up at the hotel. Type out this word. I'll give you all the gifts you're supposed to receive. Type it now, it doesn't count after the fact." The next day, she was to be picked up and taken to a luxurious villa area. Arriving at the door, the third brother didn't have time to put down the pot in his hand before coming to open the door for his sister. "Sister, you're here. Please sit in the living room for a while. The food will be ready soon." She agreed with surprise in her eyes. Soon the table was full of dishes. I had to say, the presentation was really good. Could it be that the cold third brother's inner self was actually a considerate person? Just as she was puzzled, the third brother finished his work and walked over. Huo Yao picked up a plate of food, turned around and sat on the opposite side of the table, seeing the super far distance from the third brother. She finally felt at ease and said, "I'll just eat this portion." The confused third brother was bewildered by Huo Yao's inexplicable behavior. "Why is my sister so strange?" Actually, Huo Yao believed what the second brother had said. Knowing that the third brother didn't like people getting too close, she deliberately avoided him. Even before entering the door, she stood far away at the entrance after dinner. When the eldest brother saw his sister, he was also greatly surprised. In the photo, she was clearly a country girl, but before him stood a graceful and beautiful young lady. "You're really clever." The third brother finally took out the small gift for his sister. It just happened to cover the 80 square meter coffee table. "I heard from second brother that you like it. The study time was a bit rushed, so I only prepared this much for you." When Huo Yao put her hand on the box, she immediately had a bad feeling. Could there really be such an emotionally stunted man? Opening the box was both expected and surprising. The third brother had really put in effort. In such a short time, he had gathered all the domestic college entrance exam review materials. Seeing his sister's delighted expression, the third brother added, "If it's not enough, I'll have my assistant find more." Huo Yao immediately closed the box and said with a fake smile, "It's completely enough, really no need to find more." Only then did the third brother nod with satisfaction. "Then I'll have it sent back to you later." Huo Yao heard this with a blank stare. It's really playing with money. Buying from within the country only to send it back. No wonder international logistics makes so much money. Thinking carefully, the third brother truly cared for her just now in the car. The third brother's assistant also said that the third brother usually has no social life and spends most of his time doing research in the lab. This time he went to great lengths to prepare a gift for you, which shows that family is different in his heart. At this moment, Huo Yao smiled and asked the third brother for his address. Saying she would send him a box of calming incense when she got back, she added, "People who have used my sandalwood incense have never been able to suffer from insomnia." The third brother was shocked. How did his sister know he had insomnia and she could make calming incense? Huo Yao said awkwardly, "I know a little bit." The third brother didn't ask further and said he would send her to the airport. Seeing this, Huo Yao immediately stood up and stepped back, saying, "No need, no need. The airport is crowded. I'll go with my classmates." Who else has encountered such a good desk mate? Even though rumors about Huo Yao were spreading, he was angrier than the person involved. At this point, the third brother finally couldn't hold back. "Do you have to stand so far away to talk to me?" Just as Huo Yao didn't know how to explain, the third brother walked up and directly patted her head. He said seriously, "We are siblings. We don't need to be so formal." Hu Yao was stunned on the spot. She felt something was off. Wasn't he supposed to dislike people getting close and to slight physical contact even more? That dog of a second brother lied to me again. After saying goodbye to the third brother, she turned and said, "Remember to come home when you have time. We'll all be waiting for you at homes." The third brother responded absent-mindedly. All right, but in his heart he wondered, can I still go back? How busy is our big shot Hoyang? After finishing the international competition and just returning to the country, without time to recover from jet lag, she hurriedly came to the Imperial Pharmacy to buy materials for refining calming incense for the third brother. Because tomorrow, she still has to participate in the celebrity Fourth Brothers variety show and has also arranged to meet the pitiful woman Yu. Who can type out this word? All livestream washing my hair while doing the handstand. The pharmacy clerk bustled about for a while before grinding the herbs she wanted to buy into powder according to her requirements, who, oh yeah, was very satisfied. This way she could make the calming incense for the third brother in the afternoon and send it over. Just as she was about to turn and leave with the herbs, she found Old Pei standing behind her. Old Pei was very curious. It turned out someone was spreading rumors that Hu Yao's grades weren't good and she got in through the back door. Meng Yang, hands on hips, indignantly said, "As your desk mate, I know you too well. You're just a bookworm who reads all day. How could you possibly have gotten in through the back door?" "Little Hugh, what are you doing here?" Hu Yao politely replied, "I came to buy some medicine." Hearing this, Old Pei's eyes immediately lit up. "Are you going to take medicine again? What medicine are you taking this time? Do you need someone to help you?" This sudden change in tone left Hu Yao speechless. And the disciple beside him was even more confused. It was the first time in his life seen the highly respected master in this state. He asked his master sarcastically, "What are you doing?" Old Pei looked bewildered. He sighed, "We're both human. Why are you so stupid?" This sudden personal attack made the young apprentice feel the cruelty of society. He stood there dumbfounded. After dealing with the talkative apprentice, Old Pei said seriously, "Little Huo, are you free now? Help me with something." As he spoke, Old Pei took out a notebook from his pocket. With eyes full of expectation, he said, "Take a look. This book has been passed down in our family for generations. I've studied it all my life but never understood its method. Can you help me take a look?" Huo Yao took the ancient book and examined it carefully. Then he slowly said, "These are all incomplete prescriptions. They're useless." He closed the book. "Even the best incomplete prescription will only produce substandard medicine when made. It has no effect and just waste ingredients. Just throw it away." Hearing this, Old Pei was stunned. He never expected such a result. Old Pei felt somewhat disappointed. Who would have thought that the treasure passed down for generations turned out to be useless? No wonder I could never grasp its mysteries. Seeing this, Wei Yao comforted him. People should move forward and so should medicine. There's no need to obsess over ancient or new formulas. Only effective prescriptions are worth learning and using. Old Pei, I have an appointment with a friend, so I'll take my leave. With that, he turned and left, seeing Wei Yao leave. Old Pei sighed loudly. "Ah, I'm old. I can't even see things as clearly as a young girl." Seeing her desk mate defend her, Lu Yu felt warmth in her heart. Hayao calmly said, "Rumors end with the wise." Seeing Hayao so composed, Menjiang became even more anxious. "You can be aloof, but this is about reputation." At this moment, the apprentice came out with tea. Surprised to find the guest had already left, he curiously asked, "Master, who exactly was that girl? You even asked her for advice." Before Old Pei could answer, he continued, "That girl came last time too. I mentioned it to you. The herbs she wanted were quite special, seemed to be for medicine compatibility." Hearing this, Old Pei's eyes widened in shock. He thought, could it be a big shot? They're not so easily fooled. Li Yu was pretending to be sick in front of Wei Yao. With ulterior motives, he wanted to meet Wei Yao to make his presence felt. Wei Yao had just finished buying medicine for her fourth brother and was leaving when she saw Li Yu's car parked at the door. Getting into the car, Zhou Yun politely greeted Hu Yao. Hu Yao got straight to the point and asked Min Yu where he felt unwell. Min Yu stammered and said his chest felt tight. Hearing this, Zhou Yun was startled. "Chest tightness? Why didn't the boss tell me? But wait, she seemed fine to me." Seeing his assistant's exaggerated reaction, Li Yu coughed awkwardly. Who could type out this character? I'm live streaming, giving Li Yu a way out. Wei Yao said without proof. She needed to check his pulse. After carefully checking for a while, she found nothing wrong. Li Yu, faced with professional expertise, finally blushed with embarrassment. But how could he say he missed her? He said he had been working too hard lately and would be fine after some rest. We must find a way to prove it. Hearing this, Wei Yao seemed to understand. She stared at him with wide eyes. Li Yu couldn't withstand this scrutiny and quickly changed the subject. I booked a restaurant. Shall we have lunch together? It was food that saved him. Otherwise, Wei Yao would surely have made him explain why his face was so red. They soon arrived at a high-end restaurant, but as soon as they entered, something unexpected happened. Someone on the second floor was suspiciously watching them. After confirming, he made a call to a mysterious person. Oh no, is this another premeditated revenge? After being seated, Wei Yao couldn't help but yan. She had been busy nonstop since returning to the country. She was really exhausted seeing this. Minyu asked with concern, didn't sleep well last night, Wei Yao explained. I haven't adjusted to the time difference yet. At this point, Zhou Yu seized the opportunity to flatter. Miss Huo, I've been following your competitions. You're really amazing. Huo Yao smiled awkwardly. It's nothing special. Just then, her phone rang. Huo Yao used this to step out and answer the call. Hello, Dad, she heard an urgent voice on the other end. Daughter, are you out having a meal with some friends now? Hayao stared blankly at the naive Menjiang. He excitedly said, that's it, there's an international knowledge competition. From city level to provincial to national, the top 3 can participate in the international competition. We don't expect you to win, but passing the city preliminaries would be enough to prove your ability. Huo Yang was surprised at first. How do you know? Then she looked around vigilantly. She happened to see a person who didn't look like a secret agent passing by. At this moment, her father explained nervously, a friend of mine said he saw you at the restaurant. Huo Yang questioned, is that so? Her father replied guiltily, yes, yes, oh, it's getting late. I won't disturb your meal with friends, hee hee. This old rascal was up to no good. This was clearly their own family's restaurant. The informant was actually the restaurant manager. Boss, the young miss is having a meal with a handsome young man at our place, yet he pretended not to know. It wasn't an innocent probe, who Oh Yao understood very well. This old man was stubborn. He clearly cared a great deal. She had to explain clearly to him. Otherwise, the old man might do something unpredictable, so she voluntarily disclosed. The friend I'm having lunch with is my tutor. Hearing this, her father became even more anxious. A high school girl secretly meeting her boyfriend, coincidentally coming to their family restaurant, and he was completely unaware. Not long after sitting down, Dad called. Tentatively inquiring, Hu Oh Yao knew her father was a suspicious person, so she lied that she was having a meal with her tutor. But when her father heard this, he was truly panicked. As someone who's been through it, he understood very well. This tutor his daughter mentioned. The casually gifted tea was top-grade Da Hong Pao. The car that drove him home had a premium 5-digit license plate. What kind of teacher could have such status? Whoever can type this out will immediately have such a good partner. If you can't, come find me to keep you company. Listening to Meng Yang ramble on, the indifferent Hu Yao kept yawning. She had no interest in competitions. Then she just lay her head on the desk and fell asleep. This worried her concerned desk mate even more. How can I save you from your indifference? The more her father thought about it, the more worried he became. He couldn't let his daughter be taken advantage of, so he decided to meet this young master. Daughter, this teacher has been so helpful to you and even gave me 2 boxes of premium tea. I'd like to treat him to a meal. Could you arrange it? We should properly thank him. When Wei Yao heard this, she instantly felt something was very wrong. She directly refused, saying, no need, he's busy, and immediately hung up the phone. She thought to herself, you must be joking. Treating him to a meal means spending money, right? He's not really my tutor. Oh my, where was Wei Yao's mind going? Hanging up the phone so abruptly, just afraid of spending money on a meal. Huo Yao, who had just returned to the private room, received a text from her father. Who would have thought her father would be so persistent? Insisting on treating the tutor to a meal, we can't let the teacher think we're impolite, since the old man had said so. Huo Yao, to maintain the Huo family's manners, had to follow through, so she awkwardly smiled at Miu and said, my father wants to treat you to a meal to thank you for the tea. If you don't have time, I can decline on your behalf. Huo Yao spoke so tactfully that a normal person would politely decline, but to her surprise, Li Yu directly said, I have time tomorrow. When Wei Yao heard this, she almost spat out her tea. Is he really this straightforward? Not even a hint of polite refusal, so she blankly said, I don't have time, I have to accompany my brother to record a show tomorrow. The atmosphere instantly became awkward. Seeing that the conversation was about to die, Wei Yao quickly added, if you're free, you can also casually watch. It's a countryside life show, seems to be in a live broadcast format. Zhou Yun, being more perceptive, quickly said, Miss Hu, you're going to be on a variety show? I'll follow the show's information right away, and so they finished the meal pleasantly. Li Yu then arranged for a driver to take Hu Yao home, watching Hu Yao gradually disappear. My dear, soon after, the homeroom teacher called Hu Yao to the office. He said directly, you've just transferred here. I wouldn't recommend you participate in this competition, but since you've already signed up, I respect your choice. However, you must ensure that you don't fall behind in your studies. Li Yu's eyes were full of reluctance. On the other side, Zhou Yun, who was waiting to pay the bill, was told that the private room had already been paid for. Zhou Yun repeatedly confirmed that there was a mistake. The waiter was very certain that it had indeed been paid. This left Zhou Yun confused. Could it have been Miss Huo's? But he hadn't left the private room at all. Even Huo Yao didn't know about this. It was just that the restaurant manager recognized at a glance that this was their young miss. Giving a free meal was just a matter of a glance, the girl's first time participating in a variety show. She was tricked into the entertainment industry by her agent as a celebrity. Her fourth brother strongly opposed it and required his sister to wear a mask throughout today's recording. Wei Yao came to accompany her fourth brother to participate in the variety show. The shrewd agent agreed, but was trying different ways to win over Wei Yao, sister Wei Yao, with your face. If you join me in the entertainment industry, I guarantee you'll be a huge star. Type good luck in the comments and you'll have smooth sailing in the second half of 2022. Hu Yao, having been nagged by Tan Yu all the way, was about to go crazy. She subconsciously adjusted her hat brim. Her fourth brother, seeing this, thought his sister wanted to rest and covered her with a blanket. My sister is still in school. She doesn't have time to join you in the entertainment industry. Of course, with her looks alone, she'd definitely become a big star. But after becoming famous, she'd have to disguise herself everywhere. It's too troublesome. I don't want my sister to follow in my footsteps. Hearing Hu Shan say this, Li Yu could only smile awkwardly, feeling quite regretful. I understand the reasoning, but you don't need to praise her so much. You're such a doting brother. Hu Yao was stunned upon hearing this. Thinking of Meng Ying's recent behavior, she wondered, could he have signed me up? They soon arrived at the recording site, a very distinctive ethnic house. As soon as Hu Yao stepped into the scene, she immediately realized something was off. The site was filled with various cameras. Hu Yao confusedly asked her fourth brother, wasn't the broadcast supposed to start at 10? Her fourth brother, also puzzled, guessed that maybe the crew was testing the cameras, but Yao noticed that all the staff present were very serious, not at all like they were just testing. Hoyo naively scratched her head, then I'll ask Brother Tang. As she said this, she turned to find Tang Yu unexpectedly. Tom Yu, who hadn't gotten out of the car, had already slipped away. A distant voice floated back, just follow the production team's arrangements. I'm going to park the car first. At this moment, the fourth brother was completely dumbfounded, standing there like a lost child. But little did they know, this provided maximum entertainment value for the variety show. It turned out they had been tricked by the production team. The live broadcast had already started, and Hu O's Sean was the mysterious guest. The last one to appear soon, the masked girl beside Hu O's Sean became the focal point of discussion at the show's site. The unsuspecting pair opened the door and entered the farmhouse courtyard, instantly attracting the attention of everyone present, especially the show's guests. Here were veteran actor Yin Hai and his nephew, best actress Shangxi and her cousin, and a pair of popular young idol brothers. Everyone was surprised to see that the mystery guest was actually Lila, the leader of the extraordinary band. They couldn't help but admire that the director had really gone all out this time. The veteran actor stepped forward to greet them first, asking who the girl beside him was, who Sean politely greeted the senior first, then introduced her as his sister. Because of her introverted personality, his parents allowed him to bring his sister on the show. With the condition that her face couldn't be exposed, he then glanced at the camera. Hu Yao asked, teacher, how much prize money is there for first place? The teacher replied in surprise, there's no prize money, but there's a chance to get a guaranteed admission to Sanggua University, hearing there was no money to be made. He casually said, she's the only sister in the family. You understand, hearing her brother's impromptu lie, Huo Yao couldn't help but admire his acting skills, thinking it would be a waste if he didn't pursue acting. Was he having an acting duel with the veteran actor? Shortly after, a staff member with a megaphone announced that everyone had arrived and it was time to start the first task of the day, killing chickens. The variety show suddenly turned into a live broadcast. Asking celebrity guests to kill chickens with their bare hands, Huo Yao accompanied her brother to participate in the rural variety show. The first task was to kill chickens. The first to finish would enjoy a luxurious lunch, while the last one would be responsible for the crew's dishes. Then the staff opened the small yard's fence. A group of well-trained task chickens rushed out. The scene became chaotic and almost out of control, fortunately. All the guests were already on high alert, rubbing their hands in anticipation. In contrast, on Hu Yao's side, her image-conscious brother had his hands in his pockets. As if the task had nothing to do with him, he confidently comforted Hu Yao. "Sister, I'll wash the dishes at lunch." Hu Xiao, seeing her brother's sudden cowardice, with speechless, "It would be fine if you really knew how to wash dishes. Last time at home, you insisted on washing dishes." There were 8 dishes in total and he broke 7 plates. That's right, Hu Xiao was also putting on a brave face. After all, washing dishes was better than killing chickens. Viewers seeing Hu Xiao's adorable look were cheering for him in the comment section. Just as her brother was about to give up, Hu Xiao rolled up her sleeves and confidently said, "It's just killing a chicken, right? Which one do you want? How could I let you wash dishes when I'm here?" This made the domineering co-brother a bit at a loss. At this moment, a curvaceous girl dressed fashionably came over. She said coquettishly, "I'm sorry, big brother." Huo Yao lost interest. Her brother was surprisingly curious. "Sister, have you killed a chicken before?" Of course not, but her brother still inexplicably believed her. Any chicken is fine as long as before he could finish with a whoosh, a bamboo basket flew out. Although the task chickens were trained, they had never seen a basket falling from the sky. Before they could react, they were trapped underneath. Huo Yao casually grabbed a chicken in her hand. This smooth series of actions truly amazed Huoxiang. "You've caught it already," Huo Yao calmly said. "Isn't it simple? Wait a moment, I'll give it a hot bath." At this time, Huo Chang was still immersed in his sister's previous actions. "It should be like this, and then like this." He then tried to pick up the bamboo basket. However, he couldn't lift it with one hand, he barely managed to carry it with both hands. Realizing this was a live broadcast, he felt it was better to give up. He made an excuse. It's my sister's first time killing a chicken. I'd better go check on her," but the audience outside could see that he simply couldn't lift it. "Forgive us for laughing impolitely." In the blink of an eye, the previously lively task chicken was now obediently undressed. In Huo Yao's hands, it seemed particularly docile. Without any sign of struggle, this near-perfect operation left the guests on site dumbfounded. Yin Hu enviously said, "I also want a sister like this." The veteran actor calmly replied, "Go on, everything is possible in dreams." At this time, the veteran actor's nephew, John Luido, said, "Time is almost up, hurry and kill the chicken." The veteran actor turned and rushed over, leading the actress sisters staring at each other, not knowing what to do. After she left, the teacher became uneasy. "I feel like he's participating for the prize money, but then he thought I must be out of my mind." At this moment, the little cousin came up with an idea. She pitifully said, "Lucky, can you help me?" Who owes Sean turned to look at the little cousin. The kind-hearted brother couldn't stand by and do nothing. "Although I don't know how to kill a chicken, I can try." The little cousin first secretly glanced at Hu Yao, seeing no reaction from him. She secretly rejoiced and then pretended to be weak, saying thank you. Lucky brother. At this time, the live broadcast comment section was divided into 2 factions. Some blamed Hu Yao for not helping, while others felt she had no obligation to help. Instead, this little cousin, known that Lucky's sister killed the chicken, deliberately went to ask the brother for help, obviously with intentions. At this moment, Hu Yao suddenly received a message from her classmate Jia. "Watch out for that little cousin. She's very disgusting, don't let her ride on your brother's popularity." Hu Yao looked up at them and suddenly realized. Hu Yao frowned and thought, trying to steal my cabbage right in front of me at their first meeting. The green tea girl was already trying to flirt with her brother. The naive brother fell for it immediately, but as a green tea terminator, Hu Yao saw through her tricks at a glance. Trying to steal my cabbage right under my nose, she said as she snatched the knife from her brother's hand. Holding it, she started to gesture with a sharp gaze and expressionless face. She said, "No need to trouble my brother, let me help you instead." The little green tea girl had never seen such a stance and could only meekly say thank you, to be honest. Mentioning guaranteed admission to a student who got in through the back door. As the list of participants was published, the news that the transfer student from Class 3 who got in through connections was participating caused an uproar in the school. This rural variety show was indeed quite unique. Asking celebrity guests to kill chickens live was truly challenging. This gave the little green tea girl an opportunity to get close to the brother. The brother who couldn't do anything couldn't possibly handle this task. It was clearly Huo Yao who killed the chicken. This green tea girl is asking brother for help. Isn't this obviously playing games? As usual, type out this word. I'm going to give her a big slap suddenly. Huo Yao's expression changed. With a smile, she said, "You must hold on tight." As she spoke, she gently shook the knife in her hand. The little green tea girl saw this and instantly felt something was very wrong. Just as she was about to speak up to stop it, there was a swoosh sound, then a flash of blood red before her eyes. Immediately after, a burning sensation spread across her face. Mixed with a sense of satisfaction, she was left in a complete mess. As for Huo Yao, she had just finished her knife work. Her back turned and paying no attention, soon this task chicken was completely plucked. After its hot water bath, Huo Yao turned around and looked at the little green tea girl in surprise. With an apologetic face, she said, "I'm sorry, it's only my second time killing a chicken. My performance isn't very stable." The little green tea girl was grinding her teeth in anger, but since it was a live variety show, she could only swallow her pride and force a smile. "It's okay, I'll go wash up." Wu Yao didn't respond and walked away with a cold look in her eyes. This scene immediately set the live stream on fire. All kinds of comments instantly flooded the screen. Some supported Hu Yao, while others disapproved. Let's take a look at the biggest supporters off stage. They were none other than Zhou Yun and Yang Mi. Seeing people criticizing Hu Yao, Zhou Yun was so angry he was cracking his knuckles, feeling indignant. "Miss Hu's hands are priceless. It's already very generous of her to help you kill a chicken. Okay, just saying it wasn't enough. He had to take action. I need to show some support for Miss Hu." With that, he sent out several hundred little flower gifts. Does he think he can use connections for a national competition too? I bet he won't pass the preliminary exam. Oh my, our #1 high school is going to be embarrassed nationally this time. Various rumors spread wildly throughout the school. Yang Yi saw this and teased him mercilessly. "You call sending a few hundred little red flowers showing support? Aren't you embarrassed by such a measly 200 yuan gesture?" Zhou Yun could only laugh awkwardly in response. As the two were arguing, the screen was suddenly filled with high-level gift effects. Zhou Yun's eyes widened in shock. Wow, 100 consecutive rocket launches. Each one costs 10 yuan. Where did this big spender come from? This is a real sugar daddy. Meanwhile, behind the two of them, Mi Jane sat quietly on the sofa. Looking at her phone, her fingers were frantically tapping on the gift section. At this moment, the corners of her mouth turned up slightly. She was very satisfied with Hu Yao's performance. She thought to herself, "Our little one never lets herself be taken advantage of." Huo Yao just tore apart the little green tea girl. And now the older green tea woman is coming for revenge. The first round of tasks for the variety show ended. The host announced the results. First place, of course, went to the Fala siblings. Their reward was to enjoy a luxurious lunch. As for the last place, the Green Tea Sisters, they had to face punishment. Quickly bring out our movie comment section to celebrate. We'll have grand meals every day from now on. The little green tea girl apologized to the film queen with a guilty expression. "It's all my fault for wasting time. I'll wash the dishes at lunch." At this time, the comments in the live stream were mixed. Those who liked the film queen criticized Wei Yao, while Lucky's fans naturally supported his sister. Then the host arranged for everyone to have lunch, seeing the Wei Yao siblings turn to leave. The host smiled with satisfaction. "This lucky sister is really good. She's raised the popularity of the live stream quite a bit." Then everyone sat down, but the dining table was empty. Although they were all in the same circle, they weren't familiar with each other. They sat there awkwardly, the atmosphere quite tense. At times like this, someone needs to stir things up. At this time, Meng Ying was very surprised. "Yao Yao, weren't you not interested in the competition?" Hu Yao was confused. The film queen tilted her head and casually asked, "By the way, Lucky, The news about you being injured that was circulating online recently was fake, right? Huo Shan, being experienced in the industry, immediately sensed the hidden meaning in her words. He replied casually, if I were injured, Director Su probably wouldn't have invited me to participate in this show. This flawless answer startled the older green tea woman. She had underestimated this young man, so she pretended to apologize. You're right, what a silly question. But is it true that your extraordinary band is really disbanding? She dropped this bombshell right away. This seasoned green tea woman truly lived up to her reputation. She even feigned regret, saying the band has been together for so many years, it's a shame for it to end. She played her part to perfection. Even the veteran actors sitting nearby couldn't bear to watch. Asking about the injury was already abrupt enough. And now this question, they wondered what Shen Si was trying to do. This was a live broadcast. After all, the comment section exploded instantly. This was undoubtedly a major revelation. The honest Huo Shang didn't know how to respond for a moment. This led many people to mistakenly believe that Lucky was really going solo. Hu Yao, seeing the various negative comments in the comment section, became very anxious, but she also didn't know how to help her brother for the moment. Seeing the siblings' anxious looks, the older green tea woman feigned panic. Oh my, I'm sorry, how did I bring this up? Having achieved her goal, she quickly changed the subject, meow meow. Which middle school did you attend before? The little green tea girl proudly answered. The veteran actor, seeing the topic had changed, continued to play along. Number 1 middle school is ranked in the top 5 nationally. You're really impressive, cousin, hearing the praise. The little green tea girl became even more proud. She then changed her expression and asked Wei Yao where she went to school. She added, if you were also at number 1 middle school, we might have met. I was in the student council before. Listen to how this little green tea girl speaks, full of ulterior motives. She's clearly showing off that she was in the student council. At this moment, Hu Shang said disdainfully, then you definitely haven't met. The little green tea girl heard this and looked slightly disappointed. Oh, so your sister wasn't at number 1 middle school? Huo Shan then proudly crossed his arms and said, no, because my sister was busy participating in international competitions. She didn't have time for trivial organizations. Hearing this, the little green tea girl was instantly stunned. The comments exploded again, undoubtedly laughing at the collapse of the green tea girl's image. Then the dishes were gradually brought to the table. When everyone saw the food in front of them and heard the staff say the dishes were complete, suddenly I felt a chill in my heart. Didn't you sign me up? Meng Ying said, puzzled. No, I didn't, although I hoped you would go. I didn't have your consent. Hu Yao was stunned. So the question is, who signed Hu Yao up? This seems a bit miserable. On the other hand, Hayao's side was so abundant they couldn't even open at all. Although it was very lavish, Hayao had no appetite at the moment. He made an excuse saying there were too many cameras here and he wanted to eat outside. After getting Fourth Brother's permission, he left. As soon as he went out, Hayao ran into Tang Yuheng. He politely asked how he felt about participating in the recording for the first time. Wei Yao absent-mindedly said it was okay. Then he took off his mask and asked very seriously, Brother Tang, I want to ask, what's the deal with that Shengxi? By now, the food had been served. These two cousins were in a bit of a pitiful state. There really is no harm without comparison. Luxurious banquet, KFC Fourth Brother, there are too many cameras here, I'll go eat outside. After saying that, he walked out of the courtyard. Tong Yu, who was waiting outside, came over. Sister, how do you feel about recording a variety show for the first time? Hu Yao took off his mask. It's okay, Brother Tong, I want to ask about that Shen Sis background. No way, this fate value is off the charts. I didn't expect it to actually happen. The day after the first live broadcast ended, Hu Yao was daydreaming at school. Tong Yu didn't know Shen Sis' specific background either, only heard that he was from some powerful family with a formidable background. He also told Hu Yao and the others to avoid him as much as possible to prevent trouble. Hu Yao didn't want to provoke him either, but he didn't seem like an easy person to deal with. He prayed in his heart that he could smoothly get through the variety show filming. As soon as the cute Meng Yang entered the classroom, she saw Hu Yao daydreaming. Sujia, you actually went to participate in a variety show? You're not planning to enter the entertainment industry, are you? Wei Yao lazily replied, you're overthinking. See you in the comment section. Having such a straight-laced CEO brother is really bad luck. Meng Ying looked around and still couldn't resist her gossipy nature. Let me tell you, I found out about that 5-second news. The one that deliberately made your brother kill the chicken. That was indeed a student from our school. That girl is so disgusting. She joined the student union just to steal her best friend's boyfriend, and right in front of her face. As a result, she was expelled from the student union after just 2 days, and she still dares to show off about it. It's really funny. If she knew about your situation in prison, she'd probably want to swallow back every word she said. Huo Yao made a shushing gesture. One should keep a low profile. By the way, how's your dad doing now? Meng Ying's face showed gratitude. Thanks to the medicine you gave, he recovered very quickly. He was discharged from the hospital a couple of days ago. My mom has been wanting to treat you to dinner. Come to my house tonight. Huo Yao shook his head. I'm afraid I can't tonight. My family is moving today. Oh, so suddenly, even Huo Yao himself felt it was sudden. Huo Yao couldn't help but ask, why are we moving so suddenly? His birth mother's explanation was that the old house was too old and with many family members. They had bought a big house a while ago. It had just been renovated recently. You mean it's a detached villa? I'm envious. Huo Yao looked at the somewhat familiar neighborhood. Our new home is in this neighborhood. Yes, we bought it several years ago but never lived in it. Huo Yao looked at the spacious villa and couldn't help but comfort himself. Last time the old man bought a luxury car, this time a luxurious villa. It's normal, right? As soon as the front door opened, the luxurious decoration was evident everywhere. It really had the smell of money. It's truly like having a gold mine at home. Hugh's mom handed Hugh Yao the keys and access card. Your room is the largest one on the second floor. Go take a look yourself. I'll start unpacking things. As the door opened, a sea of pink greeted him. Goodness. From little princess to big princess, he couldn't help but rub his forehead. Feeling that mom always had some unrealistic fantasies about her, it was just too pink. Opening the balcony, thankfully there was still a last piece of sanctuary to get some fresh air. Huo Yao turned his head and looked, no way, what a coincidence. Isn't that downstairs next door? Feeling sorry for Huo Xiao for a second, after Huo Xiao finished running and returned home. The doorbell rang. Huo's dad said helplessly, why are you here again? Zhou Yun scratched his head. Mr. Huo, about the house purchase I mentioned before, have you changed your mind? No way, they've really become neighbors now. After Huo Yao came back from the balcony, he opened his phone and received a message from third brother. He actually sent over those 3 big boxes of review materials. Seeing this, Huo Yao's lips twitched, but he still replied okay and told third brother that they had moved. Huo Yilin looked at the ceiling, suddenly feeling the whole house empty. The Huo family was preparing to have dinner. There were so many dishes. It was obviously delivered. Haha. Ho Ho's mom asked, was that the one who wanted to buy the house just now? Ho Ho's dad helplessly sighed. We've clearly refused so many times, yet he still doesn't give up. That person must either have a problem with his brain or might be a scammer. Be careful next time, don't get tricked. Poor Zhou Yun was treated as if he had a mental problem, haha. Hu Sheng saw that Hu Yao wasn't speaking and was constantly replying to messages. He curiously asked who he was chatting with. Wei Yao mumbled vaguely. An online friend. Her voice wasn't loud, but everyone at the table clearly heard the words online friend. I hope you haven't met a scammer. Seeing her family's concern, Huo Yao quickly assured them she would be careful. At this moment, she received a text message from an unknown number. Huo Yao looked at her parents. Someone will come to install a security monitoring system tomorrow. Please open the door for them when they arrive. Huo's mom was stunned, but we already have a monitoring system installed in our house. Huo Yao laughed heartily. It's fine, let someone check it again, after all it's free. A national-level security system might as well take it. After dinner, Hoyao went upstairs. Hoyao Shan looked at Hoyangxi's distracted appearance. Her brother was staring at her intently. Yao couldn't help but ask, Big brother, you keep staring at me. Is there something you want to say? If you have something to say, just go. Little sister isn't unreasonable. Hoyao had just sat down when there was a knock at the door. She walked over and opened the door. Hoyangxi was standing there, his expression somewhat complex. I was just talking about you. Huo Yao's gaze was indifferent as she interrupted him. You don't need to apologize to me. I didn't take it to heart. Huo Yanqi felt as if something was suddenly blocking his chest. He'd rather she be angry than this cold. Huo Yanqi's throat tightened, a hint of gloom passing through his eyes. You might not have taken it to heart, but I can't not apologize for my mistake. I was prejudiced before. Whether you forgive me or not, I accept it. I'm sorry. He bowed deeply at a 90-degree angle. Huo Yao grunted softly. She knew well that a late apology had no meaning. It's late, I still have homework to do. With that, she closed the door. At this moment, Huo Yangxi's emotions were mixed. How could you have misunderstood him like that initially? HMPH, what's wrong with this man? Does he also have some unknown secret? The next day, the people installing the surveillance system arrived, watching them discard and type on computers constantly. It looked very high-tech. Wu's mother couldn't help but speak up and ask, "Is this the surveillance system installation Yao Yao mentioned yesterday?" Wu's father was confused. "Yes, but why is this system installation different from the one I found last time? Wasn't it just setting up the computer system and then the surveillance cameras?" This looks strangely high-tech. An hour later, they had improved the surveillance throughout the entire villa. After installation, they briefly taught the couple how to use it, then quickly left. Huo's mother looked at the phone monitoring. "Old Huo, this new system is much smarter than the one you had installed before." Huo's father thought carefully, from the priceless medicine to the rare premium tea, and now this system, he couldn't help feeling a bit proud. Her brother coughed dryly and said sarcastically, "I heard from Sha Sha that you're participating in the knowledge competition. Don't you know how tight the study schedule is for senior year?" Hearing it with Sha Sha again, Wei Yao became angry and interrupted her brother. What else did he say? "Our daughter's circle of friends seems to be impressively powerful, almost excessively so." Hugh's mother glanced at him. "Don't just focus on analyzing our daughter, think about your room full of old antiques. Why do you think she's reinstalling the surveillance? If you hadn't said it was cute to see our daughter misunderstand that we're poor, we wouldn't have to wait until now to find a chance to be honest with her." Whose father suddenly tensed up and quietly walked away. "The new system is a big complex. I'd better study it some more." Meanwhile, Huo Yao had just arrived at Meng Ying's house. Meng's parents gratefully pulled Huo Yao aside and talked to her at length. Then they took out a wooden box, a gift for her. Meng Ying took the box and pulled Huo Yao away, otherwise they wouldn't be able to escape her parents' chatter. As soon as Meng Ying entered her bedroom, she saw a large box. She was puzzled for a moment, but when she opened it and saw it was full of test papers and review materials, she exclaimed, "Damn, who's so vicious to want to drown me in an iron sea?" Huo Yao smiled. "It's my first time visiting and I didn't know what gift to bring, so I could only give you a box of review materials. I've calculated it for you. One test paper a day, just enough until the college entrance exam." Meng Ying was furious on the spot. "Ah, you're so heartless." That night when Huo Yao returned home, she casually placed the gift on the table and went to her room. Hugh's father, coming out for water, posseed when he saw the box. He walked over and opened it, wondering who had left a painting there. When he saw the content of the painting, his eyes widened with excitement. The next day, Huo Yao saw her father hugging a box with dark circles under his eyes, looking like he hadn't slept well. "Dad, what are you doing?" Huo's mother couldn't help but complain. "He didn't sleep all night, obsessing over that painting." Huo's father carefully lifted the wooden box. "Yao Yao, where did you get this painting?" Huo Yao calmly said, "Is there a painting in this box? My classmate's father gave it to me." "Is there a problem?" Huo's father explained. "This is an authentic work by Zhao Meng from the Yuan dynasty. His paintings are all invaluable collectibles." Huo Yao thought for a moment, then said nonchalantly, "Then you keep it. After all, his medicine was also invaluable." "I was delayed by fans at the airport. This person was the real heiress of the Liu family." Her brother avoided the main issue and said, "You're different from Sha Sha. He's aiming for Sangua's guaranteed admission, but with your grades, participating in the competition is meaningless." Huo's father saw his daughter's calm demeanor as if it were just a piece of paper. Huo's mother spoke up. "All right, when someone gives such an expensive gift, there must be a reason. Your daughter isn't the type to lack judgment." Huo's father suddenly felt that his daughter's circle of friends was even more mysterious. Meanwhile, Huo Yilin had his eyes tightly closed, his pale face almost bloodless. His psychologist was constantly calling for him to wake up. It turned out that even such a strong person could have their own mental illness. Huo Yilin's psychologist kept trying to wake him. "Come on, wake up, don't keep falling into nightmares. You need to overcome this," seeing that he still hadn't awakened and was sinking deeper. The psychologist had no choice but to take a medical flashlight and shine the strong light on his eyelids. In an instant, the previously shaking person suddenly opened his eyes. He pushed the psychologist away and stumbled into the bathroom. He turned on the faucet and splashed cold water on his face. It took a long time before he seemed to come back to life. Wei Lin opened the door. "You can leave," the psychologist sighed. "You can't resist it. The fear inside you will only make you weaker." How long has it been since you've had a good night's sleep? If this continues, your body will be worn down. Wei Lin didn't say anything. The psychologist didn't say anything more either. Then left at this moment. Her phone buzzed. It was a WeChat message from her sister. Huo Yilin paused. She had been in the lab for the past 2 days and hadn't had time to pick up the package. She turned and went to the storage locker outside. She got the package and sent a message to her sister. Huo Yilin opened the box, smelling the fragrance. She felt it was different from before. Although it might not be effective, she decided to try it anyway. She lit the incense and put it in the candle holder. At this moment, Huo Yao felt really hurt. Even if the whole school didn't trust her and called her a person with connections, she could ignore it, but she never expected her own brother to believe others and doubt her, she coldly said. So big brother means I'm not qualified to participate? She took a deep breath and slowly lay down on the bed. Huo Yilin, who had no hope of falling asleep peacefully, gradually felt her eyelids grow heavy. She fell asleep without realizing it. The next morning's sunlight woke her up. She sat up abruptly. I fell asleep. Huo Yao had just finished class when she received a text from her third brother. Reading the message, it was clear that her third brother had already used the incense. After thinking for a moment, she replied, "A troubled mind needs more than medicine. You're a medical student yourself. My incense, no matter how good, can't last a lifetime." Before Huo Yao could leave the classroom, a classmate told her that the homeroom teacher was looking for her. Huo's father was waiting at the door. Huo Yao finished class. Looking at his watch, he wondered, she should be out by now. Lu Zia saw Huo Jingyan not far away. Since returning to the Lu family, they had never called her again. Do I mean nothing to them as their former daughter? She thought. She was hoping they would at least greet her. Just then, Huo came out of the door. Huo's father completely ignored Lu Zia. Yao Yao, Dad's here. Watching the two chatting happily, Lu Sha felt very uncomfortable. Her birth parents only cared about benefits, and her adoptive parents had forgotten about her as an adopted daughter. Aren't I also extremely cold-blooded? She thought, this is really awkward. You could carve out a 3-bedroom apartment from this awkwardness in the car. Huoyu was playing with his phone when he suddenly received a message from Old Pei. Seeing the content of the message, he suddenly thought, are old people this difficult to deal with nowadays? It turned out that Old Pei wanted to know how Huo Yao's treatment was so effective. He had just typed out "old man, go to sleep," but before sending it, he saw Old Pei say, "Future medicine purchases will be 70% off." Frightened, he quickly deleted what he had just typed and replied, "Okay, I'll definitely help Wei Yu Cheng." Old Pei, who was still preparing his big move, was surprised. He agreed so quickly. This happiness came too fast. I can hardly believe it. Her brother tried hard to explain, "That's not what I meant. I think people shouldn't aim too high. They should focus their energy on the right things." Huo Yaz, who had just returned home, heard her phone ring. It was Zhou Yun. He spoke, asking, "Miss Huo, are you at home now?" "It's like this. There's something I'd like your help to look at. Would it be convenient for you to come downstairs?" Huo Yao raised an eyebrow. "I've moved now. I don't live there anymore. I'll send you my location." Zhou Yun looked at the location, a bit confused. Isn't this the community where his master currently lives? He suddenly handed the item to Yang Yi. "You take this to Miss Huo. I really can't face going to her home." Yang Yi was puzzled. "What do you mean?" Zhou Yun covered his face. "Oh my god, I only knew about buying the neighbor's house before. I didn't know that house belonged to Miss Huo. It's really embarrassing just thinking about it." Yang Yi sighed helplessly. "This is really an unusual coincidence. You wait here, I'll go see Miss Huo." Zhou Yun frantically made heart gestures at Yang Yi, haha. Too funny. Half an hour later, Yang Yi appeared at Huo Yang's home with a box. Huo's father hid behind. Gossiping about who this person might be, Yang Yi cleared his throat. "Zhou Yang suddenly had some urgent business and asked me to bring this for you to look at." Huo Yao reached out to take it. She opened it, looked at it briefly, then closed it. "What is this?" Just as Yang Yi was about to say something, he received a text message inviting Huo Yao to sit next door for a while. Huo Yao thought for a moment and said to the little old man behind her, "Dad, I have something to do next door." Yang Yi told Huo Yao to go first while he parked the car. As her brother got more carried away, he suddenly realized his words might be too harsh. Hugh's father looked at Yang Yi, belatedly realizing something was off. "We've only moved in for 2 days. How does my daughter already know the neighbors? Weren't those people always after our house? It can't be. They couldn't convince me, so they're trying to get to Yao Yao." No wonder their attitude is so respectful, how insidious. Using sugar-coated bullets, haha, Hugh's father, your imagination is running wild. When Hugh Yao entered, Min Yu was having a serious phone conversation. When he saw Hugh Yao, his face broke into a smile. You're here? Hugh Yao suddenly approached Min Yu. She stared at him. Min Yu, blushing under her gaze, said, W, what is it? This is really the most impolite. The female lead is asking for money so brazenly. Hugh Yao looked at Min Yu's good complexion with satisfaction. Not bad, you've recovered well. Min Yu stood up, raising an eyebrow. Do you treat every patient like this? Wei Yao glanced and asked, Nothing, have a seat. I didn't expect we'd be neighbors again. Wei Yao sighed and lazily replied, This is called karma. At this moment, Zhou Yun and Yang Yi walked over looking confused. Zhou Yun, didn't you have urgent business? You finished so quickly, being stared at like this. Zhou Yun felt extremely awkward. Ah ha ha, well, Miss Huo, could you take a look at the medicine inside? Is it useful for Hu's health? Can it cure his condition? Huo Yao sniffed the bottle. He directly answered, It's not possible. Where did you get this medicine? Yang Yi slowly exhaled. We bought it through special channels. It's said to cure all kinds of stubborn illnesses. Huo Yao's expression became more complex. It's good medicine, but not for this condition. Forget it, let her be, it's just a competition. Li Yu looked at Huo Yao with a hint of playfulness. Don't we have a genius medicine maker here? What are we afraid of? Huo Yao glared at Min Yu. I feel like you're trying to extort me. I've already made so much free medicine for you. Still want to fleece me? Min Yu joke, otherwise I'll let you extort Huo Yao. Min Chun objected, I'm a good person. I can't do that kind of thing. As he spoke, he took out his phone. It's from my dad. Looking at the message, he didn't quite understand the meaning, so he set back a question mark. The old man immediately replied. Hu Yao looked at Min Yu with an ambiguous smile. I heard you want to buy my house. It's quite sudden, ha ha ha, that's hilarious. Zhou Yun covered her face. Well, I can explain.